Welcome to the Luxe Leap. My name is Reland Logan, and we chat about women consultants making bold moves, big wins, and the secrets to extraordinary branding. So I have a question. What does it take to turn influence into a thriving business and elevate creators from content makers to brand powerhouses? Today's guest has the answer. Kahlea Wade is the founder and CEO of Allora Society, an exclusive award-winning talent agency for influencers. With over a decade of experience in the influencer marketing space, Kaylea has become a trusted voice in the creator economy, helping digital talent turn their platforms into profitable, purpose-driven brands. Under her leadership, Allora Society has partnered with iconic names like Meta, Nike, Amazon Prime, and Skims, and helped creators secure millions in brand deals. Her work and insights have been featured in Forbes, The Today Show, and Adweek, cementing her as a force in the ever-evolving world of influence. If you're ready to understand the business behind the buzz and how creators are building empires, this episode is for you. Please welcome the powerhouse behind Allora Society, Kahlea Wade. Welcome, friend.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have a party just like we do when the cameras aren't rolling.
Yes.
But to give everybody background and context, what inspired you to start your brand? Just give us a brief Reader's Digest version, like that little magazine we'd find on grandma's side table.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was 17 when I started my brand. I was super young. I was a freshman in college, and I knew I did not want to work in corporate. Corporate is not for me. So I knew the other alternative was to start a business. And I did that by beginning a personal blog in college, just documenting my nerdiness of getting straight A's in school, but then also what I was wearing to class and the beauty products I was using and loving. And that turned into me getting into social media and found out about brand partnerships, started to do those, and through trial and error found a lot of success. And from that, I really wanted to teach and educate and empower other creators to also win when it came to monetizing their influence and their community that they were building. So then I got into education, and that led me to where I'm at today with Allora Society, the agency where we get to represent influencers and creators. And I get to run that with one of my best friends, Mia, and we have a lot of fun together. But yeah, I am just a big fan overall of influencer marketing. That's my space.
You're like, that's my jam, and I'm sticking to it.
100%. 10 years later, still in it.
I just love it because I think that one of the things we don't talk enough about is honestly, women in business, but that's why we have a whole podcast. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome. If you haven't heard, there's only ladies here. But really just that idea of really smart women being like, nah, I can be smart, I can be hot, and guess what? I'm going to make a lot of money out of it. It's going to be epic. And to start that at 17, you deserve a round of applause. And if I had the ability to filter in noise, we would have a round of applause happening right here, right now. So my hat goes off to you, friend, even though I'm not wearing one today. But
thank you.
You're so welcome. But kind of looking back, back into time, what was a pivotal moment in your brand's journey that really defined where you are today?
Yes, I would say the number one pivotal moment back in that time, there's been many over the last 10 years, but one that really drove forward the legacy that I care so much about building now is when I was in college and I was 17 and I had no followers. I did not have a brand. I did not have a community that was engaged in what I was saying, what I was sharing. I started to reach out to different people in the space that had found success by working with brands or monetizing. And I said, I will pay you for your time. Can you just teach me about what worked? And I was turned down over and over and over again because I was young, I had no followers, I didn't really have a clear vision. And so I wasn't extended any opportunity to learn from people that had gone before me. And that's not something that would discourage me. I'm not the type of personality where someone says, we're not going to teach you. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll never do it. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to prove myself right. It wasn't even about proving them wrong and oh, I'm going to show you. It was no, I really do believe in myself. I believe that this is something that I could do. Let me just go figure it out. And so it was through that trial and error that led me to figuring out what allows you to be successful in this space. And then when other people started asking me questions, I started sharing that freely, openly. You don't got to pay me. Eventually, yes, I did develop courses and digital products and coaching and consulting. But where I got started was really through free education and hosting events virtually, in person, just creating free content. And so that has really become the driving force of my entire brand. And even what we do now at Allora Society, it is very educationally driven. We have monthly strategy sessions with our creators. I literally right before this was on a team call with our entire team. So we're talking about, what are some things that we've all learned recently? How can we apply that to what we're doing? How can we continue to pour into the creators we're serving, pour into each other, encourage each other, serve each other? So it's been really cool to see how that moment when I was 17, that felt like, oh my gosh, okay, I have two options here. I can either say, well, I guess I'll just never do it. I guess it'll never be my thing. Or I'll figure it out myself. How deciding to just go after it and figure it out through trial and error really spearheaded the next 9 years of the business and, led me to where I'm at now.
The magic of choosing yourself. I think that's like probably just the basis of what the Luxe Leap is about, is choosing yourself. Because let's be very transparent. I mean, Nike made a whole ad about this. Like, if you can't win, then win. And
Yeah.
we hit all these, I don't want to call them barriers, because let's call them mirrors, moments of reflection, where people are going to tell you, no, no, no. And it's like, well, that's cute, but I look better, so I'm going to choose me.
Yeah.
And the ability to choose yourself, and so many women don't believe they can, like, that is really impactful and really incredible. And then to give back in that way, you're right, very few people give back. And I have a feeling that I'm like a magnet for women who give back because I'm surrounded by them. But it matters to give people the strategy, to give people the tools, because at the end of the day, they have to choose to pick them up and use them.
100%. Yeah. And a lot of people were really mad when I started sharing these like trade secrets and these things that nobody publicly wanted to be out there. And I got a lot of hate for that, because they're like, well, why are you telling everybody, like you should be kind of gatekeeping these things. And I became known as the anti-gatekeeper, because I really just don't believe that, there's only X amount of seats at a certain table. There's always extra room at the table. And if you don't feel like there is, or you don't like that table, build your own, go build a new one. And I just realized like there is a huge like scarcity mindset of, if we start to share what works, right? If we start to give and say, this is done really well for me, you should try this. Here are some strategies that you could implement, that somehow it means that there's less room and opportunity for other people or for yourself. Like, it actually is a showcase of what is possible and should be encouraging and inspiring. Like, if you really work on developing an abundance mindset and saying, you know what, them doing that is actually proof that I could do it too. And I can do it in my own way through my own journey, but it shows me what is possible, instead of saying, oh, well, they already did it, so I can't. Or now that everyone else knows about these things, there's not going to be any room for me. And I don't adopt that mentality. And I think what's really cool is that, obviously there's a massive introduction of AI right now. And there's all these conversations about how do you leverage AI and all this tech while still, remaining human led, right? Still maintaining the human connection. And at the end of the day, we're always going to have to adapt and evolve with different things that are introduced, especially in business. And that's going to be a huge key to success, is allowing ourselves to grow and be flexible and not be stuck in our own ways. But within that, part of this entire mentality is, it doesn't matter if someone else is doing it. You have your own unique perspective and experience and way of approaching it. And what I always tell people is, don't try and be the next so-and-so, the next Alex or Monet McMichael, or any of these like influencers or creators, because a lot of people I talk to are influencers and creators. Don't try to be them. I always say, be the next you. And what you're going to bring to the table, maybe it's, you also want to talk about home or also want to talk about beauty, but it's going to be different than the next person. And you have to own that, instead of looking at it and saying, oh, well, they do it, so that means there's not an opportunity for me, because that's not true.
It's not true. And there's so many threads that I can pull in the things that you just said. So I'm gonna actually bring it way back. And when they were gatekeeping the things on what it took to be a brand influencer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the Kardashians always come to mind in general as like one of the first, or if dare I say Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go that far back into time.
Yeah.
But it changed, like when more people had access to it, it changed the landscape on how we market,
Mm-hmm.
how brands show up into the world. People don't
Yeah.
want cookie cutter ads anymore. Like, it had to be better, and it changed who we interacted with because we wanted to see real people. And
Yep.
there's that concept of micro influencers you can talk about way better than I can. But, where it's still like, if you're under even a certain number, like, some people rather just see you because you still feel human.
Hmm.
And the star concept that NSYNC had, Michael Jackson had, Elvis had, Justin Bieber had, that doesn't really exist anymore because of brand influencers. And it's been very interesting to watch that change over, honestly, my lifetime, because Michael Jackson was huge when I was a baby. And now
Yeah.
here we are. Like, I can't name a single famous person who has that level of stopping traffic.
Yeah.
But then you move into, to your point, AI, where it's like people are like, oh, AI is going to take all. No, it's not.
No.
You have to be so strategic in all of those facets and know how to use the tools that are given to you. And man, I wish people would stop using tactics as strategy, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But like, to your point, these things are going to shape and reshape. And how are you flexible?
Yeah.
And how strategic are you?
Correct. Correct. Because I love the introduction of AI for the sake of it allowing us to be more efficient and
Yes.
not wasting our time in so many different areas. But it will never be able to replace us as
No.
humans ever. It's
No.
literally impossible. And I was talking on a panel recently about this conversation. And something that was really beautifully said by one of my fellow panelists is that when you try to implement AI to the aspect of it becoming perfect and doing something perfect, that's where you start to really lose the human connection too, because humans are messy. We're
Yes.
imperfect. And so it's not about it being completely perfect. It's about how can it be more efficient or take things off your plate that really you don't need to be doing. It's not in your zone of genius and something only you could show up and do. Like, I couldn't have AI sit here and record a podcast with you, right? Like, only
No,
I can
there's
show
no
up and
way.
like do it, you know? I mean, I could maybe, but that'd be really weird.
Could
So
you imagine
it's like,
AI with like how
ooh,
much the two of us have used our hands, the
yeah,
micro
absolutely not.
expressions that we've made
Absolutely not.
for each of
No,
us? Like, it can't do that.
no, it really can't. It can't. And, it will never be able to replicate our creativity or be able to truly operate from the perspectives and experiences that we have personally lived out as humans. Like, it's not going to be able to do that. We can input all this data all we want, but it doesn't have our like bodies, our brains. Like it's just not the same, and it never will be. I think, yeah, we'll continue to see advancements, but yeah, it's not gonna replace us by any means.
It's not going to replace us. I was actually building a brand voice bot for my assistant to get closer to what I sound like, right? Like,
Yeah,
she can input something and it'll be closer, and done is better than perfect in my eyes.
yeah.
And one of the things, it was like writing it, and there were a few terms where I was like, oh, vomit. Like, I would
Yeah.
never.
Ever
And
say that?
it
Yeah.
was literally like, darling. I was like, what am
What?
I? Like, from the 1700s?
like,
No.
like what in the Bridgerton is
No.
this?
Am I someone's grandma? Are there like doilies on
Yeah.
my furniture? No. Like, I would never say darling. I will not say girl boss. Like, that term
Yeah,
just makes me feel limited.
absolutely not.
It
Yeah.
and so I was like, yeah, no more AI.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see it. And then some of the emojis. Ugh, woof. If I see another
Yeah.
rocket emoji.
Goodbye.
Like, I don't want to go to outer space. Leave that to Katy Perry. I just rather like go to a beach.
Yeah. No, same. I'm with you on that. No interest in space over here, but yeah. Sit me up in a
No.
chair and let me get a nice tan. I'll take that every day.
And a mojito. Didn't we talk
Yeah.
about mojitos last
Yes. Mojitos
You
and
can have
margaritas.
Mars.
Count me in. Yeah.
Unless Mars can prove to me that you have a better mojito.
Yeah.
Going.
I'm not interested. Yeah. No, thank you.
It's further away from the sun too. I'm like, it's not about this life.
No.
So there you have it, y'all. The two of us are not going to Mars, so that's 2 more seats for all of you.
More
Oh my
space for the
goodness.
rest of them.
Yeah, like, you enjoy seeing the atmosphere and touching the ground again. I can't. All right. Katy Perry does not deserve this much screen time with us. So moving on to the future, living on Mars.
Yes.
We'll chill while the world blows up, drinking mojitos together on a beach. But what are your long-term goals for expanding your brand's impact?
Oh, I love this question. Impact is so important to us. for us, what we're doing at Allora Society, and then also what I do on my personal brand, it's not just about, this is a way that we earn a living, right? This is just about collecting a paycheck and checking off to-do lists and all those things. Like for us, it really is about impact and legacy. It's about how are we educating and empowering the next generation of creators, business owners, influencers? How are we pouring into them? How are we serving them? And a lot of those values come from me also being a believer, being a Christian, and being faith-based in the way that we operate, the way that we serve other people. Then I'm looking at, okay, long term, what does that actually look like when it is more than just like, I don't care about my name being known. I don't care about Alora's name necessarily being known. Like for me, with what I value, I care about glorifying the Lord. And so through doing that, we do that through excellence in our work, right? Through integrity. And ultimately, long term, we'd also love to bring a lot of what we're doing virtually to doing that in person. So things like hosting retreats and having events and bringing our team together, bringing talent together, putting people in a room that they're surrounded by those that are like-minded, that really, that just get it. There's something so different about being in a physical room with people that just get it and understand, and that you can have that good, fulfilling, fruitful conversation with and walk away being like, wow, like that was so good. Like I feel so seen and known. So just cultivating more spaces like that. And then also really just, to be honest, changing the game of what influencer agencies look like. There's a huge lack of integrity and diversity. There's massive pay gaps that we're working to fight. There is, there's just so many things that we're really wanting to flip the narrative of, and not only do that, but completely rewrite the narrative of that agencies shouldn't just be something where you're a number on a roster, or your business and who you are as a person isn't cared about beyond what you could do as a commodity and how you can provide a paycheck. Like we don't believe in any of that. We believe in, yes, advocating and representing you as a business owner and supporting you in everything that you have built. But creators aren't commodities, they're people, and they have real lives and real dreams and real aspirations. And how can we link arms with them and use our talents and skills to help spur them on and move them forward? And so a lot of what we're working on doing is that foundationally. And so sometimes that looks like, advocating harder on a deal where maybe the talent will be like, oh, it's fine. Like I'm good, like here. And we know that they're getting, the short end of the stick, all the way to how are we bringing people together in person, all the way up to, okay, well, how are we, changing the narrative of agencies overall in this space?
I think that's beautiful, but let's be honest, you were already a change maker to begin with. It's just how you operate. Step one, that's just how you operate. And like that's second nature. But I agree with you, like there needs to be more diversity in the space.
Yes.
I think there is a thing about inclusion that people don't want to face. They think it means everyone, but it really means the people who need to be there and can be seen, curate those spaces for a space where they're not just seen and known, but also have the ability to be vulnerable because others have experienced similar
Yes.
things. It's not saying that others can't walk through that door. It's just saying like, this is the place if you want to feel this way in this space.
Yeah.
I try to not say safe spaces because women know what that means. It's not every space is safe,
Yeah.
mentally and unfortunately physically. So when we really look at like your ability to make that change, to fight for folks where you're like, listen, I know we have a brand deal with you on this side. You're paying Susie Q X. Like you're not going to pay this person Z. Like stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
And so to fight for that, to make people's dreams come true, like that's very impactful and leaves that feeling of trust in the hands of them. And I think trust is something that it's hard to come by in today's society.
Yeah. And it has to be, especially in this, when you're truly supporting someone in their business, something that they have sometimes spent a decade building, and they're trusting you as a partner in that to maintain that. It's truly like letting your yes be yes and your no be no, like following through with what you say you're going to do, and not just saying that you're going to do it, but truly showing up and living out what you are promising them. And there's a lot of lack in that. I think in any space, we can run into that. It's especially hard in spaces where I see influencers as also entertainers. And when you get into the entertainment space, there's a lot of getting taken advantage of or not being advocated for, being overlooked. And also, sometimes making decisions just because you don't have all the information that you need in order to make a more informed decision. And so really, like, how can we continue to bridge the gap of a lack of knowledge, because knowledge is power. And so doing that as well with how we operate is not just saying, hey, creators, this is what we're doing. It's, hey, this is what we're working on. And here's why that's important. And here's what it looks like when it's actually being executed, instead of it just being like, this is what it is. Like, okay, but why?
But why?
Yeah.
And why is it so hard to answer why? Can somebody please answer that for me?
Like, nobody likes why questions either. It's what or how questions I found are a lot safer. I've been trying to like change, because why puts you on the defense, right? Like, I think it really causes you to be like, what do you mean why? It's like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. It's like, okay, what caused you to get to that decision? Or how did you get to that end result? Instead of saying, why'd you do it like that? I was like listening to a podcast about this recently, so I could go on a whole tangent about this, but I'm now adopting more what and how questions into my vocab.
It's so funny. I sometimes have to give everyone like a preamble of, I'm a very curious person.
Yes.
I'm going to ask 102 questions.
Same. Yeah.
You've been correct. Like,
Yep.
I was actually asked on an interview the other day, and it threw me off. And I didn't know, I answered it, but I answered it very honest. And the person was like, what do people usually think of you when they first meet you in a leadership capacity? And I go, they don't like me.
Oh,
he just kind of looked at me and I was like,
oh,
they don't. I go, and then they love me in 2 weeks. I go, and that's just the way it is. I go, because I will just say it. People don't expect me to just say it.
Sure.
Thank you, early 2000s movies, for creating a whole like avatar of what I should sound and look and do. But it cracks me up because I'll just say it. And then he goes, he actually wasn't offended by the fact that I said people don't like me. But it was so funny because he was like, I don't know if it was the CFO or the CEO of Stripe, but she wrote a book, and he was like, you just reminded me of her because she says, just say it. And I was like, well, if boys can just say it, I don't understand why I can't just say it. That's silly.
Yeah.
And so my directness usually throws people off in leadership capacities.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to do with them. I was like, they don't like me. And he was like, huh.
Oh, okay. No, I get that, because it's so funny. This is such a random kind of example in the same vein, but I was at the gym one time, and when I go to the gym, I'm very like, I'm locked in. Focused. I'm there to put in the work. I am, I do a little bit of RBF. Okay. And I'm a very like outgoing, bubbly personality. So like the gym, I would get it if someone sees me in the gym and they're like, okay, what is going on here? Yeah. And so I had a girlfriend that I saw there. And so she came up and she was like, I'll never forget when I first saw you in the gym, and I was terrified of you because you looked so scary. And then I came up and I was like, and you were like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, she's like, it was such a 180 to like what I was expecting from you. And I even joke around, like, my husband was the first guy that was never not intimidated of me. Like, he wasn't intimidated by me, like, wasn't scared of, like, I'm direct, I can be very intense, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm loud, I talk a lot, I use my hands a lot. Like, he was never like, whoa, like, you're too much. And all these other guys were like, I constantly would hear, you're very intimidating, you scare me. Yep.
Me too. And I'm like, why? How? I'm kind of like a teddy bear. Like, I'm
like, I'm really nice.
But same thing. Like, I remember I would go out like back in the day, and I don't hear very well. I don't know why I can't hear very well, but like certain tones are hard for me to hear. And so if I'm out in like a bar setting where it's really loud, like I just stay to myself and really quiet, and people would be like, I just thought you were so mean. But then I like sit with you at brunch and you're like the nicest person. Like, yeah, it's because I can't hear you. So when you ask me questions, I would just nod and hope that like yes or no worked.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like, oh, you're super standoffish. You're like, no, I
just can't hear you.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny.
Oh man, you gotta love it. But yes, I've heard I'm intimidating a timer 25 million. And you know what? I don't think you and I should have to apologize for that. So
yeah. I've learned to really own the fact that I am more direct. And what I've had to really work on is it's so important to speak the truth, but to not forget to speak it with grace and love too.
Mm-hmm.
And what I used to really struggle with is I would just say whatever, like no holds barred. Like I would just, whatever I was thinking, I would say it and it would get me in so much trouble and it would really hurt people. And I never wanted to hurt anybody. And I was never really like taught growing up, and also just being really young, I was just like, well, it is what it is. Like, whatever, you know, I'm just saying it how it is. And it's like, then I went through counseling, you know, and my counselor really helped me like work on that and not dilute myself to the point where I'm not able to operate at a leadership position. I can't be me. I have to like shut myself down, but to still speak the truth, but also like pause, like think about what you're going to say before you say it. Like think like, is this actually kind and loving, or is it harsh? Because a lot of what I used to say was really harsh. And so I've really had to work on that and not be like, well, this is just how I am, because that's not true either. And we can really refine and like further develop ourselves. And so it's funny. And it's like, I was just joking with my team before this again on that call. And there was a situation that really irritated me. And it was the fact that one of our creators is being paid late. And I don't play around with that. So I started getting involved. Like the person who's owing us money isn't responding back to my team. So I send a direct text message to like the CEO. And I was like, hi, from CEO to CEO, what the heck is going on here? And this is incredibly disrespectful to our talent and to us as a business. Like, what are you doing? You're not responding. And, you know, they responded immediately. But I was talking to my team about this, and then I was joking with them, and I was like, y'all are going to have to hold me back because I'm ready to start, you know, flying through some walls here, you know? And a lot of my team members are so amazing. And they're like Enneagram 2s, like the helper, like peacemaker, like so sweet, and like they are on it and they get their stuff done. But I'm the only like Enneagram 8 intense, like I will just, you know, say it. So they were like, we're good, Kaylea, like it's gonna be good, you know. So they gotta like talk me off the ledge sometimes, which like thank God for them, they're the best team ever. But they also have created such a great space where they're like, we love that you're direct. Like they never try and be like, oh my gosh, like, you know, what, that's too much. Like they're like, no, we love it. They're always laughing. They're like, here goes Kaylea. Like she's mad. Yeah, she's getting lit. Yeah, she's getting off today.
It's very similar over here because I'm a 7 wing 8.
Yep, we're flipped. I'm an 8 wing 7. Yep.
So there you go. It's just like a lot of energy, a lot of ideas, and a lot of like, listen, this is what it's going to be. Like and I'm with you. Like we can't say it harshly. Probably 16-year-old me was harsh, but becoming a mom, leading so many teams, I'm like, no, I love you. It comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
But, like we can do
some
better.
tough love. Tough love, but it's love.
Better. It is what it is. And I'm a firm believer that it would hurt your feelings more if I drug it out and didn't tell you the truth.
Yes.
Versus telling you the truth up front where it might sting, but we can move past it. Waiting too long to me is the equivalency of lying.
So, oh yeah. No, I totally agree. And clarity is kindness. Like being honest is kind. So people aren't left wondering like, what do they think? What are they saying? It's like, well, let's just get down to the bottom of it here and then we can move on.
Then we can get to the root of it and we can really show up fully. And then you know that you can just be as honest to me too. And we're going to be okay. Yes,
exactly.
Come on, y'all. We got places to be.
Yeah. Places to be, things to do.
Like move. That was actually another question that had come up in that conversation, which was, what do you need help with as a leader? And I was like, listen, I need somebody that I can go give all my ideas to, brain dump, because the people below me on the metaphorical ladder, which I hate that term in and of itself, do not want me throwing a bunch of spaghetti at the wall because it creates a lot of confusion and stress that they have to do all the things that are running through my brain at a rapid rate. It's not fair.
No, that's really good. Those are great questions. I'm thinking about that too. Like what would it be for me? Mine's probably empathy. Like I naturally struggle with having empathy. And so I constantly surround myself with people that are very empathetic. And I've learned so much from them. My co-founder, incredibly empathetic. And she has taught me so much about also like the more softer and feminine side of me that I naturally lean more masculine. Yeah. And I've really, over the last like year, especially tapped into the more feminine side and, you know, worked on really becoming more empathetic because I used to see emotions as problems to be solved, and that's not what they are. And I'm very solution oriented. And so I was like, okay, you're upset. Like, okay, well then don't do this and you won't be upset. Yeah. Like, and people were like, I feel like you don't hear me or see me. And I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, if you don't like your life, change it. And it's like, well, okay, it's not like that simple always. And so I would really like simplify emotions into solutions, and, you know, emotions aren't problems to be solved. So mine would be like empathy.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I had to adopt this one question that helped me with that, because in some situations I am very empathetic and many I'm not. And I had to start asking people, like, how do you want me to show up in this moment? Do you need me just to listen,
Yes.
or do you want me to fix it?
Yep. I've started asking that mostly
Yep.
with my husband.
Yes.
Like, okay, let me just take a step back.
Like,
Are you
just
looking
trying
to vent? Yeah. Are you trying to vent? Do you need some, you know, ideas on what we could do here? I kid you not, I just asked him that last night.
Literally, do we need to whiteboard this, or do you want me
Yeah.
to just sit and listen? And if so, I'm going to
Yeah.
go grab a drink. Thanks.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you need?
Yeah. And that's sometimes like just the wildest piece of it all. It's kind of comical
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And I actually enjoy being around women who are like me in that sense of like, can we I literally just started singing Mulan in my head. Like, let's get down
No, sing it
to
out.
business.
Sing it out.
Like, we have to. But
Yeah.
we're not defeating the Hans. That sounds like something that happened in history a long, long, long time ago. Um, but it is like, it's really important to understand yourself, have that level of self-awareness, because then you can pause and say, this is affecting how I grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, to a certain extent, we have to be mindful. And if not, we'll stay stuck because we will never evolve.
Yeah.
And as leaders, we have to evolve.
Totally.
So it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for fun questions. Are you ready for fun questions?
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, all of this has been fun, but yes.
I try. Gotta keep it bubbly over here. Somebody called me
Yep.
Everescent the other day. They're like, your
Ooh,
brand
yeah.
gave off that vibe, but then I met you. And I was like, I'm good at what I do.
Like killing it.
Don't worry about it. What does a day living a luxurious life look like for you?
Ooh, a slow morning. A slow morning that includes waking up right before the sun. I don't need it to be pitch black. Like I need a little bit of light, but waking up right before the sun, like a 6:30 a.m. is beautiful. And having a matcha, making a matcha like by hand, I love that. Having a good, healthy, nutritious breakfast, having some quiet time with the Lord, reading like a chapter of the book that I'm in, and then going and getting a workout. I have long mornings, but I really prioritize like having that space and having them be a slow morning. Like that's my version of slow, because my version of fast is like work. Like once I get into work, it's like go, 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 go. Like I'm in anywhere from freaking 5 to 8 meetings a day, like talking with the team, working with consulting clients. Like, so I'm bouncing around a lot. So to me, that's slow. It's really like, you know, nurturing for me. So I would say that. And then just a lot of rest. So really making sure that I'm prioritizing rest in the morning, also in the evening, having quality time with my husband, and like having weekends off. And like sometimes I'll work on weekends if it's a really busy season, but like going to the beach and enjoying time with friends and with family, like that's a rich life for me.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. That's incredible. Um, I'm with you too. I like my quiet times. I sometimes will just not even leave the room until I'm ready. Uh,
Love it.
unless I have to take my child to school, but there's days I don't have to.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
you gotta love it when it's quiet. All right,
Mm-hmm.
last one, best one. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. In one word, what is your primary motivation in business?
Legacy.
Why?
Legacy. Because I know that we're not promised tomorrow. And not to make it morbid, but if something were to happen to me, at the end of the day, like what is the legacy that I left behind? And was it a legacy of loving and serving other people and putting other people before me, not a life of selfishness and how much money I can have and what kind of nice car and what kind of nice house? And that's just not, to me, that's not legacy. Legacy to me is people and those that you impact through the way that you show up, the way that you love and serve them every single day. And so that's what guides me in life in general, and then also in business.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I could just hug you through the screen if that was possible. We're
I
completely
wish it
on the
was.
opposite sides of the United States. But thank you so much for being on the show. You're such a fun person to get to know. I've enjoyed every
Oh,
interaction with you. So thank you from the bottom of my
thank
heart.
you. I feel the same.
Oh, thanks. And how can anybody get in touch with you if they want to work with you?
Yes. So come hang out with me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm big on the LinkedIn train right now. I love me some LinkedIn, but I'm Kahlea Wade on LinkedIn and then at Kaylea Nicole on Instagram. And if you're listening to this, send me a DM so we can connect and just say hi. I would love that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So you all heard her say hello. Because why not? Like, this is really how the two of us show up.
Oh, absolutely.
You've seen it here,
Yeah.
folks. We're not
What
going
you
to
see is what you
in
get.
the DMs.
Yeah. What you see is what you get.
Basically. For better or for worse.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody who's been listening. If you're watching it on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed all the hand motions, eyebrow raises, and all the things that these two lovely 7/8s had to give you. And if you are listening to the podcast, thank you for allowing us to share time with you, whether you're cleaning the house or driving to your next destination. We were happy to be a part of it. And until next time, everyone, thanks for listening to the Luxe Leap, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.